What makes the early Canada Goose season unique in New York is that you can, number one, take your plugs out. Number two, it's a 15 bird per man limit.
The ditch line that was running through it, on the back side you had a hay field, on the one side of the ditch you had a cornfield, a silage field.
And we landed the goose right in there, and actually we did have some come and land 10, 15 feet off the ditch line. They got right in there, and we beat them up pretty good.
Second day in New York, we woke up with the hopes of at least a 10-mile-an-hour wind of some sorts, but we weren't going to get it.
For Fowled Reality Season 4, we set out to do things differently this year. We've come a long ways over the course of 3 seasons. We want to continue on the path that we're on. We've had some incredible hunts over the last 3 years. We want to continue having that success, but we want to do it in some different locations. We want to offer our viewers some different hunts, some different perspectives, and to start the year off, we traveled to central New York to get the Canada Goose monkey off our back. We have not had a Canada Goose episode in 3 years. We've shot some geese. It's been a part of a duck hunt or a snow goose hunt. We wanted to dedicate ourselves to having a pure 100% Canada Goose episode. So off to central New York we went to start our season. On our first day in New York, which a lot of you probably saw the episode of The X that we filmed for Realtree, we had no wind. The birds were out circling the field off in the distance. Some of them would slide in from the left, from the right. A lot of the geese seemed to want a little further west down the ditch that we were in. So on the second day, we went down into that area and chose a spot in that ditch that offered the most cover. It was approximately where a lot of the geese, started to circle over in there.
Exactly. A little unique because the ditch line that was running through it, on the back side you had a hay field, on the one side of the ditch you had a cornfield, a silage field. We had 2 setups with us, we had 2 spreads, 2 trailers full of decoys, so at the last minute we thought, let's take another spread and put it in the hay field on the back side of the ditch. So that's what we did, and we decided, we'll do that. Let's see what these geese want. Let's see if which field they're gonna want. As they started coming, we started realizing that they wanted in that hay field a lot worse than they wanted in that cornfield.
In the early season, when we were there, we actually had a cornfield on one side of us, we had a ditch, and then we had a clover field over here. And we put half the spread out here and half the spread in the clover. And 90% of the geese went to the clover because, first of all, it was 70 degrees out, so they're not looking for the corn. They don't really need the corn. They're eating the grass. They're going in there and sitting down. And if you can hunt the grass early season or a clover, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody thinks that ducks and geese, that you got to be in a cornfield or a bean field and stuff. But early season, when they don't need the carbs and it's not cold, they're not burning it off, they'll sit in there on the grass and stuff. So don't be scared to put your decoys out in the grass field at all.
Kill him, boys. Kill him. Having two cameras there was the saving grace. When Josh Dahlstrom from Hardcore Decoys was there, he was on one end of the guns, I was on the other end of the guns. We were able to, get two different angles. Birds that would slide in from the left, he was able to get off the right-hand side, and vice versa. Birds that were coming in, sliding in off the right, I was able to get from the left side. And being able to film with two camera angles was huge, especially on this day because there was no wind and the birds were not cooperating.
Hey guys, George Lynch here at the Indiana Deer and Turkey Show down here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Going to talk about a couple calls of mine, what we make and what the difference is, and I'm going to give you a little bit of soundbite with them. One of the calls I want to talk about is our little call called the dead end call. This call has our new semi-broken blood gut, we call it. One of the best hunting guts that I've blown. It's an X-Factor gut that took 6 months to break in. It's not a deep well broken gut, it's a semi-broken gut, so it's easy to run during hunting. You can get those different notes. It's got good on the transition, it's very smooth, yet it's not so deep broken that it takes a lot of air. So this is going to be the dead end. Like I said, it's got the speed, it's got the high pitch. We're going to give you a little soundbite here. You hear that has that fast, good guttural sound. It's good raspy, but it has a high pitch, and it has a lot of speed to it. And one of the other new ones we're coming out with is one of our flute style calls. It's a little bit different because it blows like a short reed. It's a little bit shorter than a lot of the flutes out there. We shortened up the insert, we tightened the bore, and then the barrel, what we did with the barrel is we experimented, opened up, put a little bit what we call glodo, which is more of an opening around the guts to give them a little more hollow system. Now we're going to pick this thing up. It's going to operate pretty much the same as a short reed, but I'm going to open my throat a little bit more. By opening that throat, allowing more of the vocalization, voice inflection, and my air, changing my air quality, this call is going to have a little bit different sound. Like I said, again, this isn't a call that I'm going to use in long range calling, but it's that call that I might get them in the long range with this, but finishing off that last 50 yards to get that shot, this call will be a little bit smoother, but it has more of that hollow goose. You hear it has a little bit more finesse to it, a little bit softer, but it has that good rasp and it open like a real goose has, and that cluck, and then the honk and then the moan. Both great calls, just different situations, both designed different, and yet the end job is finishing that goose and putting the feet in your lap.
We had a ditch coming down, and so what we did was we put the guys in the cattails, we put the decoys out, and we brought them close to us, so if they landed on the outside, we still had a good shot. You know, some people think, you know, you move them out because the geese don't want to land close to a fence line, and that's true. But the problem is if you move them out there and you think they're going to land in between you and the decoys, more than likely they're not going to. They're going to land on the outside. So if you move them out 40 yards and they come in and land 10 yards off of that, that puts you at 50, 60 yard shot. So what I always like doing is I always like bringing them tight. It might not look the best, but if the geese come and land on the outside, you still got a 30 to 40 yard shot. So we kind of put them up all alongside the creek where we were at, and we landed the geese right in there. And actually we did have some come and land 10, 15 feet off the ditch line, which surprised me, but I mean, they got right in there. And we beat them up pretty good.
With the lack of wind, they would come in from different directions, which was a real pain for us. We wanted to try and center them up like you wanted to, picture perfect, right down the middle in the pocket. But with no wind, they would come from right over top of you, right around the back, left, right. It didn't matter. They were coming from all over the place, and it was tough with no wind.
But since we had no wind, you know, we had birds still slipping in from every which direction. So it took really most of the morning to get the cameras in the right spots. We moved cameras probably 3 or 4 times to finally get, you know, the right angle to where these guys are shooting geese, we're getting good footage, and the rest of the morning worked out well. It was an awesome start to Fowled Reality Season 4.
Back this way. Turn this way. Frankie, I'm gonna put the collar on him. Hey. Kill him. Kill him.
Really? That blade of grass right here was, this bird was right behind it.
Me and Josh drove all day and all night and got in there. And we was beat tired and didn't really feel well. And Fowled Reality guys were in there, and everybody was kind of a little sick and stuff. But Elliot went down for the whole time. Actually, I don't even know if he pulled the trigger. It was something, because he was in his motel room, rolled up in with his blanket and his pillow, and he had a runny nose and a headache, I guess, and just couldn't come out and hunt. You know, we thought he was a little tougher than that, but obviously he's not.